be changing during the pandemic.
So face coverings are the new normal, and etiquette expert Diane Gottsman is joining us now to talk about how to approach your mask. And really, you shouldn't approach it. You shouldn't touch it once it's on when you're doing one of these job interviews. So, Diane, is this primarily affecting our new college grads, are you noticing?
You know, yes, it is. I wouldn't say primarily, because there are so many people who are looking for a job right now. But college grads especially have all kinds of questions. So I think this is a great opportunity to answer them.
So the first one has got to be, you know, if you have an in-person interview, which seems a little bit more rare these days, and you walk in, you're being watched to how you're adhering to these new social norms from the second you walk in the door.
That's right. And so I think it's, you know, there's so many things to think about. You walk through the door. Sometimes they want to take your temperature. There is a sanitizer bottle on the desk. What do? Do you ask if you can use it? You know, so I think what you do is, first and foremost, you wear your mask. You know, that's what that's what the CDC is suggesting. You're walking in, showing that you're showing respect for the people that you're meeting and yourself. And if there is, you know, one of the questions is, should I use that sanitizer on their desk? You know, if you have your own, certainly feel free to pull it out of your purse or your pocket and use it, because you're showing them that you are taking it seriously. That's perfectly fine. You know, in regard to, can I use the restroom to go wash my hands? You know, that's another commonly asked question. I think it's iffy. You know, some people are not going to want you to use their restroom. You know, they want to keep. I don't even want you to sit down. I want you to arrive on time, stay standing unless they direct you to sit down, and touch as very little as possible.
So does it go without saying, Diane, the firm handshake is just out. The age of the elbow bump is in. I mean, how do you approach that? The human greeting. I know we talked about this last time you were on the show.
Right. And so, you know, previously I would say the first person that extends her hand shows confidence, and that's not what we want to do today. So you want to do an elbow bump, or you want to put your hands up and towards your body to show that you're not reaching out. Now, let's say this probably is definitely not common, but occasionally someone is still going to reach out to extend a handshake.
Right.
You know, you can certainly refuse it kindly by saying, you know, I'm social distancing still. I'm going to give you my elbow, or I'm really happy to meet you, but respectfully, I'm showing courtesy to yourself and myself. So I think that we can be assertive, we can be courteous at the same time, but we do have to set our boundaries if someone is stepping over what is your comfort level.
Yeah, and you know, you might have to work on your comfort level in terms of being virtual, because if your initial interview is virtual, it's your opportunity to not have the mask on and for them to really get a feel for who you are.
You know, ultimately, the virtual interview should be the first interview now. And you know, before we would think, oh gosh, there's going to be a disconnect because there's a camera. But look at what we're doing. We're all virtual. So I think that you can really shine through a virtual interview if you prepare yourself, which means that you have to check your technology in advance. You have to make sure when you are meeting them and you go live, so to speak, you know, you're smiling and you are showing, you know, you're not distracted looking down and around. Just be prepared. You know, make sure you're dressed from head to toe. So don't wear your pajama bottoms on the bottom.
Sure.
Be ready. Yeah, so virtual interviews are really very effective.
They are. The difference, though, is that when you have somebody there in person, you learn a lot about them during the downtime, because that's when you hear about, what were they talking about when you were over there? You know, there are a lot of nonverbals that are important when you're looking for chemistry in a workplace.
That's right. And you know, we are all charged with making ourselves interesting, and that means that we have to do what we can. If we're meeting in person, face to face, body language is important there as well. You know, if you're wearing a mask at that first job interview, your eyes better be pretty expressive. And by the way, clean up all your social media, because they're really, you know, interviewers are doing their research. If they can't see you, they still can see you online. So everything about you, it can be traced.
So interesting. Yeah. Diane, thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you.
So to speak.
She answered so many questions I had without even asking them.
She's
the question about what to do if somebody wants to shake your hand but you don't feel comfortable. I mean, you
want to follow. Diane is one of the best bloggers out there right now. Everything she's writing about is so interesting, and you can always follow her at the Protocol School of Texas. She's got a website. She's all over LinkedIn too. But she's really like adapted her business to answer a lot of these questions we didn't even know we needed to ask.
Right.
You know?
Until now.
It is 7:41 right now. After the break, the Republican National